where I am today is I look back, I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I made it through a hailstorm. But it ain't over yet because, you know how they always say when you get on top, that's when your problems come. That's when all the jealousy and envy, but you got to be strong to withstand it. But where I'm at now, for my name being mentioned, and all the shootings, all the fightings, getting locked up, getting accused of this, and now you're accusing me of doing something right. And the more I'm getting convicted of doing right, like Tam said the other night, what you say, when the more you do right, the jealousy comes, and then they want to convict you and prosecute me on me doing right. You know, all my life, folks never had my name in their mouth, but now as soon as I'm doing right, you talking about me. Like my mom used to always say, as long as they're talking about you, you're doing something good. So basically saying, how did I change? How did I get out?
How did you accept the change?
Okay, how did I accept the change? It was me getting tired.
Okay.
I was tired. When you do so much dirt, you start having dreams about it. The guilt start coming out. Just say, like if I sold somebody some dope, a woman some dope, and then I see this little boy, and I see this little boy got problems. So I look back and be like, how old are you? And he say, 10 years. Or when I see the mom, and the mom say, yeah, Darren, that's I was pregnant with him when I used to come around. So they made me feel guilty. But the ultimate change was one little dude who I was trying to reach. I was talking to his mom, and we kept clashing. Then I had to identify his body. And it was like, that's my fault. I could have saved that kid. So that's when Darren Seals became, I was trying to hide, you know what I'm saying? Like I always say, I go down to the grocery store mall aisle, and I see a mother. And that mother look at me, and I drop my head, and she'll come up and say, it's okay, baby. See, people don't understand when you enter the streets, not only that the younger generation looking at you, but your closest peers looking at you. Your partners want to eat, you know what I'm saying? You got a partner that's never had nothing his whole life, you know what I'm saying? He struggled. Next thing you know, we getting money. What you think he gonna do? He gonna come on board. But they not knowing that when they came on board, that this was a first-class ticket to hell. No, the game don't teach you that. The game just show you the Jordans, the teeth, the gold teeth. They show you the women, but they never show your mother at that front row. Or better yet, like Tam say, when you gotta wash your son up, you gotta take your son to the doctor because he's paralyzed. That plays a role in every decision that I made. You know what I'm saying? The bullets that's hitting all these kids, I'm guilty of all. I don't care. So right now we speaking on this film, and somebody get killed on the east side, 30 minutes away from her. When I see it on news, it hit me like, damn, I could have reached that kid. And I know I ain't the only one feel like that. You know, when you know you deep off into the game like we were, only way out was a jail cell or death.
So what actually, so you mentioned jail. So when you went to jail, coming from where you came from, something happened because you came out actually different the last time. Something happened where you could have made a decision. You could have had your kingdom set up still. But something happened in jail that gave you a transformation. When you start a new journey this time.
When you sit in that box, you actually got enough time to think. And nobody else thinking for you. See, when you on a block, other folks thinking. Other folks is actually saying, hey man, let's go do this. Okay, come on. Because that's the norm. But that 30 seconds can get you 30 years. So I started noticing that when I'm in the box and I come out, sit amongst. When I went to the penitentiary, they didn't send me to Clayton. Like, I never forget. All the time they say, I got locked up for this. Darren Seals got accused of this. He got accused of that. He got accused of that. All these murders, all these shootings. Never could get nothing on me. Not that I was doing them, that everybody was trying to get me off the block because of who I was. You couldn't kill me, so let me get rid of you. I never get Tony got killed. Had nothing to do with Tony. Tony, my partner. Guys that's hustling on the other end was like telling the police that they seen me come through the gangway just to get me off the block, but not knowing that I was at a softball game. You know what I'm saying? So when you sit in that box, you got time to think. Like I always tell people, time waits for no man. I don't care how gangster you are. When it's time for you to sit in that box will break you down. And it broke me down mentally. But when I got out, I was trying to be on a revenge tip. You know what I'm saying? I'm missing the block. See, people don't understand. Let me show you how the static happens on the block. These little dudes is building the block up, right? Let's take me. I built the neighborhood up. I'm getting this money. I'm getting $3,000, $4,000 a night. Then all of a sudden, I turn around. I got to go sit down for a year. When I come out, now I didn't get all these little dudes I had running for me, all my little lokes. Now they getting money now because what I built. They getting money. They getting powerful. Now all of a sudden, a year later, it's time for me to come out that box. Where do you think I'm going? I'm going to get my block back. So the first thing I taught them to dudes on the block, you better not be no punk. So the word like, you ain't no punk. Ain't no, man, fuck you, ain't no punk. So when these kids hear that, now I'm out, they got to stand up to me because it was embedded in them to say I ain't no punk. So then when I get out, I got to come back and get my block. I know everything about these little dudes because I made these little dudes. So they go to war. We're going back and forth. Now, one set I hear somebody say, let me get out and we share this. Nobody think about that because everybody like, it's mine, 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 mine. So when I got out, I said I'm going to come back with something different. I was tired. I started noticing and started seeing my death. My nights became days, my days became nights. You know what I'm saying? It was like I was sleepwalking. Then I had to figure out, I had to break it down. Was I a drug dealer, hustler, or dope dealer? All while I'm in the box, I started thinking about three things: hustler, drug dealer, or dope dealer. Dope dealers might could be a politician, might could be a dirty cop. It might be somebody way up that got 10 emos, 10 Jack in the Boxes. But a drug dealer got to show, I'm that nigga, I'm the one. But a hustler just running around in the game in the way, catching cases. Everybody become that. The hustlers are the ones that's in the box right now. One person get caught with 3 stones, get what, 10 years. Drug dealer might get caught with some dope in the money, might get 5 years. A dope dealer might get probation. You feel what I'm saying? So I had to learn, how did I become all of that? I never was taught that. My mom had a good job, but the neighborhood influenced me. First time I knocked somebody out, it was a rush. So I didn't hustle for the money. I always wanted to be the thought about it, the mastermind. And that's how Darren Seals was in the neighborhood. I was the mastermind. I was a thinker, you know. So mentally, it broke me down. I said, when I get out, they never put chains back on me no more. So I found my way. Not only in the process, you know, they sent me back. But the more they sent me back, I didn't care because I was getting smarter. Because when I get locked in a box, I get smarter. So that's when people will see me, like I'll be over a lady house and, you know, we be in the bed, and I go sit in the living room by myself, or I go take a trip or sit in my car. That's because they make me, that's like I'm a deadly weapon. So mentally, I had the words to say, Darren Seals had a rebirth. I had to go all the way back to the beginning, go all the way back to the womb. You know, if I can spend 9 months in the womb and come out with a little conversation, and we're going to get deep with this. I was in my mother's womb for 9 months. When I got out, I didn't know how to talk. So now, I did that little time in the box. You ain't going to shut me up because I know what's right and I know what's wrong. You feel what I'm saying? So now, my lesson to all my cats is, why do we got to sit in a box to be smart. We go through our whole grade school, middle school, high school. For what? To go sit in a box, to learn from yourself, learn from your mistakes. So I try my best to stay focused, stay grounded. I got guys in the neighborhood that's, come home from doing 15, 20, 30 years, and the first thing on your mind is, what a dope at. You know what I'm saying? Damn, so I've been in there for less than 2.5, 3 years, and I got the picture. But when God knock on that door, you got to answer. So anything else? Let's roll time.
What would you say, because I've heard you say, like, when you was in the street, like, you neglected the kids. What would you say to the father that's choosing the street over his children today? From your experience.
Damn, that's a good one. When that kid, let's say, I'm speaking strictly about my kids. I disappointed my kids. I played favor to the devil instead of listening to God. God gave me the strength to bring life to this earth. But I listened to the devil. Fuck them kids, get that money. Get that money, you know what I'm saying? So the more money I was thinking in my mind, I'm gonna get this money, and I'm thinking, I'm gonna make this money, but I'm gonna take care of my kids. But I'm taking care of another woman's kid, good, because we're in a household, and neglected mine. So hustling, you gotta be there for your baby. Now, like, you know what I'm saying, it took me a long time to get close to my kids. I mean, like, I go, we have dinner over my mother's house, and my brother kids was over there sitting with their dad, smiling with their dad. My kids, you'd be sitting there like, and I'd be like, okay, the dude in me was like, fuck you, go, you take that shit out of here. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit, but not knowing that, damn, dog, you hurt that kid. So it took me a long time, and they don't understand. I tell you, I can break this stuff so cold down. When I was hustling, I was a dope fiend, because I had to find a good dope. You know what I'm saying? I'm ripping, running in. Who got this? Who got this? Who got that? I'm running around doing the same thing that they doing. It's just I never use, I never smoke, never drink. So when you get addicted to moving and grooving, I catch up with them kids later. But what I always say, time waits for no man. So now I get out the box. I finally realize, hey, it's time for me to get my shit together. Hey, baby, I love you. Where that love was at when I walked out of grade school. I went to my first date. But then I sat back, I'm like, wow, I missed out. And I missed out on my kids' childhood life, chasing this dream of being a hustler. And being a hustler, it wore me out, and it's gonna wear anybody out. Like all these guys that's gonna come home from the penitentiary, oh, it's gonna tear them up. Because that kid, I know guys that come home from the penitentiary and trying to get back into the kid life, then the kid get knocked. That should be like, damn, what happened? You supposed to, your daddy didn't leave you. So I had to look back and say, like, my daddy and my mom, they still together. You know what I'm saying? I feel bad about neglecting my kids. But now, I got two small. I never get my daughter Queenie was like, Daddy, I'm gonna be mad at you. I can't take back that you wasn't in my life, but I will never speak to you again if you desert them 2 girls. So that's why I'm so close to my kids. I finally got a chance to change a pamper. You know what I'm saying? I got a chance to play. When my daughter start fall down and she crying and let me kiss it, and I kiss her knee and she thinking everything good. I miss that. You know what I'm saying? The kid that I was close to, who I'm close to, is my son, and he and Queenie should have been the ones like, dude, I ain't fucking with you, I ain't rocking with you, no, never. But they the closest ones I got. Queenie just like me, she's a thinker. She's love hard. You do something to her, she hold it. And I know that it comes from me, but I had to just learn self-love. Self-love was the only thing that kept me afloat. This deep what I'm doing. Because I always tell somebody, now how can I get out and take care of all these kids? Make sure they safe, but my own kids ain't safe. So I had to learn how to become a dad. I had to be around other dads, you know, and just, if you in the street life, it's gonna come to an end. And that end is, how do you go back to your baby? See, nowadays, crime's so high, I'm glad it never happened to me, but I know situations that guys in the penitentiary, and then their daughter get raped. So he locked them up in a box. He writing me, talking to me, brother, I'm trying to get my life together. Then his daughter get raped. She's 10 years old. A grown man rapes her, tear her wound up. Well, she can't have kids, but then he hear about it. Then he turn around and say, I'm killing them when I get out. You should kill yourself because you never should have been in there. And that's how I look. I'm glad. That's right. My two little ones, nah, that ain't going on. I'm going to be right there by their side. So.
Speaking of Darren's rebirth, now you can feel. In the streets, you was numb, you couldn't feel it. Now you care. Now you can feel it.
Oh, yeah.
So now that you're able to feel, how sorry are you that not only you neglected your children or neglected your customers' children, you failed the community. But now we got we got a rebirth. You're having a rebirth. So being born again mentally, how are you giving back to the community?
They got some good questions, don't they, Ben? How I'm giving back to the community.
Now that you can feel, now your emotions there. So it'll sadden you if this happens, rather than that.
Let's say the question always be, would I go back and live that life again? Yeah, because that life brought me today. I wouldn't have went through that. So now what I'm doing for the community, what I should have been, I'm a credible messenger. Fools like Ledoux can see a tape or hear me talk. You can hear it in my voice. You can tell that, oh, you've been through some things. I remember I used to go up in churches and preachers used to say, I used to go up in church with a bulletproof vest on, have my strap on me. Just knocking at the door, trying to see that sermon for the day. Let me hear you tell me something that can make me change. But then when I talk to preachers, the first thing preachers say is, it's gonna be okay. It ain't gonna be okay because you never been in these shoes. So now, what I try to do is, and I'm keeping it real, I didn't do this for no money. The money just started popping in my head because I got bills. You know what I'm saying? When you got $3,000, $4,000 a month in bills, and you ain't got nothing going on, so I had to get out here, get a job, work like a man, do what I was supposed to do. And then I turned around and I said, how do I prepare myself to take care of another guy's kid? I had to start taking care of my own kids. I had to go through that pain. I had to look at my kid in the face and say, I'm sorry. I got on my knees one time for my daughter. Please accept me back. Blocked me away and kept on moving. But now the rebirth is I will not fail to do some things that I can do. I always say you can be a gangster, but why gangsters don't apologize? We too big. You know what I'm saying? I hate the fact that, you know, I used to come down the street, here come Darren Seals. Some people didn't even know me. I remember my car caught a flat, and I jumped on the grand bus. Never caught the bus. I'm scared of buses. And caught the bus, I heard the dude something. Yeah, I just got through kicking it with Darren Seals. And dude was talking. I mean, he was straight telling stories about me, and I'm sitting right there. I let him talk, and I'm just looking like, eventually, when you get big, you become a trophy. Only through law enforcement, through guys on the street, through the murderers, and through the women. Everybody wanted a piece of Darren Seals, so I had to disappear for, I never forget, I got off the what they say, gridiron. I got off that for like 5 years. 5 years, I just was in the cut. I remember I started, couldn't get a job, so I started going out there with St. Louis County cleaning parks, working for free again, just trying to find me niche. They hired me because I know how to work hard. And so I said, I'm gonna work. You know, different things I want. I watched all my other friends going to become firemen, lawyers, doctors, you know what I'm saying? These guys from my block. And I'm like, whoa, why I'm the one that's behind? So I said, I'm gonna outwork them and anybody else that thought about change. And that's why I go so hard. Don't fuck up now. Let them questions roll.
Maybe we have another question. Okay, so how does it make you feel knowing that you are reach your goal, your mission, when you see the homicide numbers steady rising? How does that make you feel?
Well, I look at homicides, they constantly rolling because to catch a wolf, you gotta be a wolf. They not letting the right people get in front of the mic. Like I was saying yesterday, the more you see, the more you hear, you become that. If every day we hear Tupac, and you know you like Biggie, but every day you get in the car going to work, 30 days out of a month, and you constantly hearing Tupac, you become what? A Tupac fan. So, because you heard something differently. You feel what I'm saying? You hear something differently. So when you hear these different messages that homicide going up, it ain't going up, it's been the same. Homicide rate, somebody get killed, ain't no difference between you got 300 and 1,000. That's another brother that we lost. So I try to, my mission, my faith that I gave to God was, I'm gonna save many as I can. I don't know if I'm gonna change St. Louis, but I promise you I spark the mind that can. So if I can catch them when they like 7, 8 years old and show them something different, yeah, it's going eventually. But when you got to get doctors in the neighborhood, like Dr. Punch. I love Dr. Punch. Oh my God, she on the block. You know what I'm saying? She's showing you how to stop a bleed. She's showing you, let you know you're traumatized. So once just man like that force hook up with my force, then my force hook up with somebody else, and we just keep growing, like your organization. All of us sit down and become one organization. You know what I'm saying? That's why I love about Employment Connection, Sal. He's got an outlet, choices. You get your job. Not only you get your job, he don't care if you're a felon or not. He gonna find your job. I know different folks that got fired. You know what I'm saying? They was working with us and they got fired. Next you know, they working for him. He'll help a brother because he know what it feel like to be in the gutter.
So, if your son was to come to you and say that he owned, he a dope dealer, hustler, he out here. You done had a rebirth. Do you think that you can say something to prevent him from living that life, or would you just rather walk in your new birth and just let them see the example of change?
No, I couldn't let him walk in it. I would have to, and you know, my son grown. I think I probably would put my hands on him. I have to really show him what comes with the game. You see what I'm saying? I never forget, like when I was young, and I always told this story when I was trying to join the gang. Either the gang gonna join you, or you join the gang. No matter how you look at it, you gonna fight, because you gotta be able to fight for somebody to respect you. So in the dope game, he learning how to be a hustler, drug dealer, dope dealer, that's a college, that's a class. You see what I'm saying? He had a choice to say, I can rock up dope, but I also can fill out an application to Dow Core Chemical Company. Because he being a chemist, changing powder into rock, you're a chemist. He gonna have to learn that. Also, he got to learn when the snakes come. Are you shining now? So somebody take your shit. But if you ain't learned this, they gonna keep taking your stuff. then that's what creates killers. Just because you shoot a gun, that don't make you no killer. You know, I love to see, keeping it real, I wish everybody put the guns down and throw them fists up.
Yeah.
Just, fight. I know a dude that killed his cousin and didn't know they was cousins. Eventually he got killed, but just the fact that he actually killed his cousin. These are things, like he actually was shooting at another guy in the car and shot his cousin in the back of the head. Somebody that was there, was talking about it. And then he came out and he told me. That's the stuff that's going on. Took him, threw him out. How do you go back to your mom and them and tell them that we're gonna get them niggas, Nigga, it's you. So my son will have to learn that, and I know he won't make it out because I wasn't no punk. I was cut from that cloth. See, back then you had to prove that you was cut from that cloth. I tell a story, I got knocked out 3 times in one day. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a fighter. I hit hard. But I ran into somebody that hit harder. Another grown man, matter of fact, he was grown, I'm like 16 years old. He's probably about 22, 23. But I wasn't going back to him fighting him because I was trying to win. I was letting all the other dudes know that, damn, he knocked out a grown man. So before I can knock him out, if I'm knocking out all these little dudes in the hood, now I got a grown man. My mission was, I'm gonna get him. When I finally knocked him out, I was like, whew. You know what I'm saying? But the next time he got me, he knocked me out again. But as we went on, he started respecting, little dude, you got heart. Yeah. So I know my son ain't ready for that. So all the young dudes, just because you see on TV or video, and they gotta understand the music. The music. Like I said, if you sit in the car and you keep hearing hugging on my mama from a jail cell, eventually I want my mama to hug me from a jail cell. But not knowing that 400-pound guys in here waiting on your ass, booty bandits. I mean, we get real deep off into it because once you go to the joint or you done been in this big shootout on the block, I know many guys that was that deal on the street. But when you get in that box, you wearing Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? Kool-Aid for lipstick.
So you said that your son not ready for it, but getting back to the question, so you choosing to live the example now is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of, okay, if whatever your reaction may be when you find out if that's what he's doing, just scenario. You still willing to be that example of the rebirth, because you also talked about being tempted, being tried. Oh, the old coming back to tempt you. So this is who you say that you are.
Right.
And then now here go your challenge. Do you still stand in the change?
Oh yeah, I would still stay in the change because every drug dealer or hustler, we chase the money. I didn't chase the money. I had chased the rush. It's different. You know what I'm saying? It was a rush. My partner was getting it, and I jumped in it, but it was the rush. He can get 10 bricks right now. I'm gonna tell him and show him that everything that you work for in that dope game, you're gonna lose time. I'm gonna explain my life to him. You're gonna lose the respect from your kids, and then he'll get it because I'm gonna sit down every day. We're gonna have this conversation. You know what I'm saying? I know my son. I mean, if I did have a son that would go, but I teach them. They lead by my example. I let them know that game is horrible.
So this would be like the old Darren Seals and the new Darren Seals. What would you tell the old now?
What would I tell the old Darren Seals? That was a good example. They killing me with that, ain't they, man? What would I?
What would you tell the old self?
I would look in the mirror like I always do, and say, "You're a dummy." I'm telling y'all right off the top of everything I love. My mind is still in 1988. My emotions are back on the White Castle lot. So all these years, gone. I couldn't even tell you what happened 10 years ago, but I can tell you all about the 80s. You feel what I'm saying? You lose time, and you lose, like I can't even remember. I remember one kid, Queenie, going to a birthday party. I don't remember nothing after the birthday party. I don't remember none of my other kids' birthday party. I remember going, picking them up, dropping them off, buying Pampers. I don't remember none of that. But I can tell you the first time I got shot. I can tell you the first time I rocked up some dope. I can tell you the first time I put a gun in somebody's face. I can tell you the first time a gun got in my face. So everything I remember was horrible. I can't remember no good things. So that's why when people always look at me and say, "Oh, dude, you was crazy. You was wild." You know, I stopped in Home Depot. Me and the dude was having some questions. Like, bro, I remember this. I'm like, damn, for real? He said that I sold him a car and then came back and took the car back later on that night. No window bust, no nothing. I just jumped in the car and I drove off. And he said that his mom saw me drive off in the car. But I did get the car back, but I can't remember how I got it back. You know what I'm saying? I was that bold, dirty. So I tell the old dude, "Bro, where did you come from? How did you even get here?" And I say, I got an idea. My pain, everything that I've been through when I was little. Like I said, I didn't learn how to talk until I was getting of age, going to speech class. All them guys that laughed at me, I'm knocking your ass out. I don't care who you was. I was on it. And so once I got big and I learned how to fight, I just ran with it. Because I was a little bitty dude. I was a small dude out the pack, but I was running the pack. So did I answer your question?
Okay, so do you ever feel guilty that you made it? I mean, because of the havoc that you was a part of, do you feel guilty that you made it out?
Yeah. I feel guilty that I made out. So many nights, you know what I'm saying? People don't know the inside of my unhappiness. People just see that the change. They see he cool. They see him on commercials. They see him this. They see him that. But they don't see that. Damn, somebody might can say, "Hey man, that's Lil Tim." He might be just a little dude named Lil Tim. I think, damn, my partner Tim. Or when somebody say, or when I see somebody look like Cleo, you know, my best friend, I look, I'm like, damn, he look like Cleo. So it make me start thinking about Cleo. So thinking about the times. And I always say, I used to beg God to take me away from her. Beg him. I'm talking about I played Russian roulette a couple of times. I'm talking about straight took the gun, spent it, clicked it. And then to come back to reality, I'm, damn, my mom. You know what I'm saying? Nothing else mattered. My mom, my sister, my little brother, my father, what they gonna think? And so I wouldn't do it no more. But then when I got around other guys and trying to show them that I'm that nigga, I'm that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Then I do it again playing. And then one day we was up in the house and my partner spent it and blew a big old hole in his head.
So you are aware that everything that went on back then, it was like a necessity, because who you are today is who you were always supposed to be, but you had to go through all of that to get, because if none of that wouldn't have happened, this new person that stands before us wouldn't be. Are you aware of that though? Like,
I'm kind of thinking about the cocoon. When the butterfly's in the cocoon, we don't eat. It does not receive anything. And I just love, but the rebirth, and that's what.
yeah.
Just seem like that's what God is doing.
That goes back to the question, would I go back and do it again? Yeah, because I wouldn't be who I am today. I had to go, I'm telling y'all, I had to go through hailstorms.
Yeah. Those your trials.
Yeah, I had to go through if I'm gonna be strong enough to do what I'm doing today. So I got the voice that I can tell the dude, look, bro, I can tell you the outcome of it. You know, it's I'm just favored through God right now. You know what I'm saying? But see, just like me, I'm not afraid to be like I'm in a race. But then I don't mind passing the torch because it's gonna be another little dude that been through worse things than me. It's guys that's out here that been shot up, shot down. You know, I'm not saying like I'm invincible. I was just honestly, I was accepting death at an early age. So I guess God said, you're gonna keep asking for it. You keep asking for it, I'm gonna show you a little bit. And I was almost there. Then, okay, I'm gonna show you again. But I heard the voice, I knew I was gonna get shot. I knew I was gonna get shot when I was young. I wish I could find the tapes where me and Anthony saying, I'm gonna die to something. I'll be gone to something. You gonna be gone to something. You gonna cry like a punk. We joking about it. Then all of a sudden, I start seeing it. He died. I was going to funerals. I never forget, I ain't gonna say no name, but I went to one of my partner's funerals. And we were some dirty dudes. You know, we didn't care who it was. We fighting. We was destruction. And I went to his funeral. And his family, small family, they was from down south. He probably had 12 people at his funeral. And they said, is any friends, what they say, any friend, anybody want to say a few remarks? I'm sitting on this side. I'm straight street, you know what I'm saying? So the lady said that, in my mind, I'm like, damn, you should have just said, hey, bro, you want to come up and say something? Because I was the only one over there. And I looked around, kept looking around, see if any of my other partners don't come in. And then I never forget, I went out and called my partner. That's when we had the big old phones, you know what I'm saying? I called him on the phone, I'm like, what's up, bro? I'm at Aunt. I said, man, I met my, at his funeral. And I'm like, man, I ain't fucking with him. He dead. I'm like, bro, he dead. I don't give a fuck. I'm like, damn. And it made me think that we really wasn't partners. So when he said that, it made me think, you'll say that about me. So I started being standoffish, you know what I'm saying? Then I found, you know, after a few of my close friends started dying, everybody that was on that tape said, I'm gonna be next. I'm the last one living. I got a picture at the Animal House where I'm on a picture with Tim, Rod, Jeff, Red, Rudy, Mark, Dana Man, you know what I'm saying? Big Jack, Theotis. It's about 10 of us on this picture. And it got Lord of Lords and Kings of Kings. And I'm the only one in the middle like this. And all these guys are dead. So I think hardly. I think on that. Like, so I know I got to do his work.
Being now that only because I hear you constantly keep mentioning God, some type of spirituality has awakened in you. So now that you tapping into your spirituality, have you found that sense of love yet?
No, not yet. I mean.
I'm talking about God. Have God touched you in any way?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Feel some sense of
yeah, I heard him. You know, like now, you know, people say just pray and ask him to remove. And I asked him as I was building this. I knew different folks was gonna come. I knew folks was gonna snake. And I told him, if this the work that you want me to do, get them snakes out of my way. And slowly but surely, they start, you know what I'm saying? Start revealing. You know what I'm saying? I listen, I'm obedient, but it's my God that speaks to me. Everybody, he touches everybody differently. So the way he touched me is, you know what I got you doing. And I'm going this way with it. I'm not looking back. Like you said, been tempted. Yeah, guys, and came up here with a couple of them things in the trunk. You know what I'm saying? And showed me, hey, bro, I got this for you. I got this for you. We can put this wall back up. I can do this, make a couple phone calls. No, bro, I'm good. You know, it's been a long time coming. And it's always about me. If I say I'm going to do it, I'm doing it. Even putting this building, putting this wall up. I always had this thing, I would live on my feet than to die on my knees. But you would no longer send me to the kitchen when company arrived. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I started, I can't turn back. See, other folks can walk away. I can't walk away. Yeah, but it's do I miss my partners? Do I miss my niggas? Yeah. I go to the cemetery and I walk through the cemetery. I don't St. Charles Rock Road. I hate going there because it's like I gotta go visit all these guys. You know, I was up in there probably about a couple of months ago. The dude got killed, so we had to go up in there. And I'm sitting back and I'm watching him take his casket out, put it on the thing, and I'm sitting here looking. But I can hear. And so when I look back over there, damn, that's what Tony buried. Damn, that's what such and such buried. Then it take me off the reason I'm there. Now I'm focused on 1987, 1988, all these murders and all these shootings. I start focusing on that. So when everybody else left the cemetery, guess who's left in the cemetery? So I can't go see one without going to see the rest of them. So I feel like when I heard that, that was like, damn, let me go see what he wants. And so then when I'm walking over there, I'm like, all right, man, rest in peace, man. I see you when I see you. Damn. So then go over there, cut the core off, and I just go through every last one of them. Start looking for folks then. Then one time when I went out there, I was at peace. I got at peace Cleo. Out of all the guys that got murdered, Cleo hit me the worst because he called me. And by me being a thinker, you know, they had the money, but I was the thinker. I always been the thinker, you know what I'm saying? I'm always the quarterback. And so when Cleo got killed, I should have been there. But I didn't answer my phone. I talked to him early, and I was like, bro, we got a war going on. Stay away from that, you know what I'm saying, them clubs. But Cleo was type, I got money, I don't give a fuck. When he got killed, it crushed me because he called me on the phone and told me that the guys was up in there. And I always taught him, you know what I'm saying? I'm finna get some game right quick. It ain't no punk move, but if it's a lot of static going on and you ain't got that strap, what I did a couple times, hey, can we get police cars over? Somebody just got killed on the lot. When all the police on the lot, I'm walking to my car. Getting that strap in my hand, and I'm going about what I got to do. It's chess. But I always tell people, anybody now, that's why I don't go out. Would you bet your life on that it's peaceful? I heard people tell me, these are my people. I miss them. I look at obituaries, you know, I got stacks of them. And people always say, I hide them from people because people say, can we look at them? I'd rather look at your stack before you look at my stack because the game is to be sold, not told. So if I turn to somebody and say, I'm keeping this dude obituary, then all of a sudden that stack, he probably killed your daddy. Then I become a trophy because that was your partner. So I keep my stack separate and only for me. Like I look like so Tam House and I was looking at her obituaries. And I got an obituary of Dana Man, but what I asked you got a picture of Dana Man? So it's you still got I still play the role as if I'm still back in 87, 88.
Have you ever, or are you currently going through, or you in some type of therapy for your traumas from the past? Or you not to say, you know, in our culture, a psychiatrist or something makes you crazy? You look
I think deep down inside, I think I'm crazy as a road
me
lizard.
too. I was just saying, get you.
Shit, I'm crazy as a road lizard. Shit, huh?
You're a little touch.
I'm a little touched.
Have you of the traumas that you ever got? You not getting no type of medical assistance for your past traumas.
So in other words, you're trying to tell me that am I traumatized? Am I traumatized?
You are traumatized.
Am I traumatized or crazy?
You can, whatever term you want to use, I'll give you put both in your pocket, but I'm
You see what I'm saying? I knew she gonna hit me with that one. You hear that, man?
You are traumatized, whether you believe that or not. That's why, because your brain never let go of trauma, and that's why the pain is always rehearsed. I'm just asking, are you, or have you considered getting medical attention for your trauma?
No, because, I talked to a few people. I talked to, I always use Von Treese. That's my girl, that's my little sister. When she speaks to me, she uplifts me. We can't go back. Time waits for no man. So I can't go back and dig up 250 or 60, 200, at least it's about 260 guys. And we ain't talking about no punks. We talking about some real thoroughbreds that I always say, if they would have linked up, because every 5-10 years a war break out where a lot of drug dealers get killed. But just imagine if all of them would have, let's open up McDonald's. Let's open up this. You know what I'm saying? See, the conversations get deep now. Why do we gotta kill each other and wait for the 4 seasons on our way to hell, and everybody else in our neighborhoods living a heaven life?
Let's say we get the younger generation, let's say from 12 down, and they run across your documentary. Can you give them the distinguish back then or even now, what was the difference between a punk and a stand-up guy? Because they may be searching for an identity, but saying punk versus the tough guy, they may take on a different role to prove a point. So for the newcomers from 12 and under, can you explain that? Because nobody wants to be a punk, but sometimes being a punk is saying it.
Well, now you got to go back the system. Back then, you fight. Police just pull on the block, break it up. You go home or you go home. Or he grab you by your coat, kick you in the butt, send you to your mama house, or he going to send your mama house. Now, all of a sudden, this is the killer of, now I'm going to go back to the question. This is the killer of our younger generation. This little device here, and I'm going to tell you, I watched the little dude fight. They went. They threw down. I sat back, and the police officer sat back too. They broke it up, went home. After the fight was over with, when they was going, because ain't no movement in fighting. If you fighting, you fighting. If you bite, kick them in the balls, kick them in the face, whatever you do, it's a fight. You got to accept the fight. But I used to take guys where nobody never kicked me in the face, but I got kicked in the back of the head before. But I believe if I saw that, cancel Christmas. You feel what I'm saying? But back then, we didn't have phones or none of that. So I believe if I would have saw somebody kick me in the face, yeah, it would have been on. But now these little dudes, hey man, dude, look at this, man. I got 1,000 views off this, but not knowing that you finna send a mother to the front row. Because if you little dudes not see it, this motherfucker, like I said, 3 years later, they in the club, it could be 10 years. These little dudes are fighting dudes for something that happened in grade school. I know a little dude that got killed for some stuff that happened in grade school. He got killed. He went to Northwest, he got killed. Because they mindset. So ain't no difference. The men, the game ain't gonna change. The same dope I rocked up in 1985 is the same dope they rocking up now. The players change. So these guys ain't in where you say, hey bro, I'm finna pull up on you. Come outside. And your daddy go out there on the porch, like my daddy used to go out on the porch and say, go ahead. And we throw it. Then we get through probably late on the evening, we playing basketball on the same team with 2 black eyes or busted lip. But these guys nowadays, if you constantly hearing, every day you turn on the thing, kill, 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 kill. Now all of a sudden, when it happened, let's take that. I was listening to this the other day. This was used to drill me. I'm talking about I'll never forget being black and a few of us used to ride to the animal house. We know we going in the animal house, we going to fight 15 to 20 guys. You know what we used to play, me and Clear, and what we play in the car? I'm talking about this song here. I hate listening to it because it brings back memories of all that BS. I'm finna play it right quick. And I'm gonna see if somebody get hyped. But, tell me if you can hear it clear, man, because you might have to reload. And I said, you heard this song, then play it. This song here is the song for me that got many of guys. I'm talking about, like, I don't care who it was. It can be 15 guys. I'm getting out the car and I'm handling my business. Let me see, it's finna come on, y'all, right now. Y'all gonna say, yeah. Hold up, they got a commercial. But, so let's let you see, you can hear a song and change into something else. I turned into a monster when I heard this song. Mm-hmm. This song right here. Like right now, I feel like knocking somebody out. Look at me. Look at me, scoot back. Psychopath talking. King of my jungle, just a gangster. Stalking, living life like a firecracker. Quick as my fuse. Been dead as a death. Back the colors I choose. Red or blue, because of blood. It just don't matter. Just the part that he say, I am a nightmare walking. That thug used to just the beginning. Yeah, just being in the club and you hear it, you got to flip that hat around, let's get down. But the music turned a lot of guys out. It's an industry. It's a game change. But also once you hear that type of music, then you go downstairs from the Animal House and you hear Kumo D. That got us hyped too because we was from Northwest, so when you heard that, it was fight. You might get knocked out with that, but you might hear Heavy D and the Boys, and you can just come from upstairs fighting. But then when you come downstairs, you rocking. You know what I'm saying? You turn into a whole different person. So these little kids only hear that. Now all the rappers are R&B hard singers, so everything changes. So once these little dudes turned into Instagram killers, then now when it's on, I gotta put it out there. So back then, you had guys that was punks. Now you got the same thing, but punks come in different fashions now. Tough ones are the ones, because you got tattoos all over your face, or you tatted up, that don't make you thorough. Or tough.
Me personally, it's just crazy that I never actually knew Darren. I actually never even knew him. I knew of him. In the same instance where he's saying, people be having a conversation, you know, Darren Seals, and then Darren Seals, I had heard Darren Seals so much that let me go back, I'm moving too fast. Darren Seals was just a name in the neighborhood for me. Not a good name, not like Miss Washington at the Dairy Queen, not a pleasant name. That was a scary name. Because what people would describe, or how they would describe him, even at our age, I don't know your age, I'm 45, I know you're a little older.
Don't worry about my age, just go ahead.
I know, you know, I never hit 60 so quick. But it was just the energy, even the energy of his name made you feel like you wasn't in a rush to run into dude, or that ain't nobody you got to know, that I had to know. Cause my sister and them were along his age, so whether they was conversating about Darren Seals, who gonna get with him, who been with, whatever the conversation was, I never saw a face. I never ran into him nowhere, but I just wasn't on that dope boy, you know, stuff. But anyway, how I was introduced to Darren. I was doing a video, my Let's Talk About It video. I always, do some type of running my mouth video. And he was listening to something I said, and he contacted me to have a sit down. I think he was doing the 1,000 Thugs at the time, which we're going to get back to. But anyway, that's how we connected. We connected through, I think what we do have in common, we like deep conversations. We like to go deep. We like people to know the know. So again, like I say, my most impressive moment of Darren is when I came to the building. And in my mind, I looked around, and I'm thinking to myself, ain't no way. This man then took on Noah's Ark. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. But the more we came up, if wasn't nobody else here, he was here. It was so cold, I'm like, call me. He stayed. Through the hottest times, he stayed. I could see it in his face. Sometimes I say, you ain't had no sleep. He said, I don't know what sleep is. It wasn't he was not sleeping because he was chasing women. It was not that he was not sleeping because he's still fumbling with dope on the side or he chasing a dream. He was not sleeping to get this vision to manifest. So that's my most impressive moment is the faithfulness and the loyalty. Same faithfulness and loyalty he gave to the game. He gave God that same faith and loyalty for what I call Noah's Ark. And he built it the same way. So we'll have Bible study later. But he reminded me so much of Noah. And I'm just going to say it. Y'all can talk about the dope and all that. I'm saved. He reminded me of Noah. And I'm going to tell you why I think this is important to say for me when I'm discussing Darren Seals. It was not heard of in his soul of souls that he would have a unity center. When God told Noah to build the ark, rain wasn't heard of. It hadn't rained in 40 years. Build a boat. So they walked around Noah. And they said, you such a foolish man. God surely didn't give you the instruction to do that. And what they were saying is, we don't have water. Where's this boat going? But it's something about whatever God spoke to Darren and whatever God spoke to Noah. It was not about the winds and the waves. You don't think some came clashing at him so he can give up? You don't think Noah had the same experience, but they kept building. They kept building. He kept building. Even when it didn't work out, even when they said no, even when he had so much hope in this and people failed him, like he was talking about the snakes. But he kept building. Even at times, we don't know if he was up there and he didn't have nothing to eat. He didn't have no money. He didn't have nobody around, with nobody to talk to. Not to mention what could be going on in his personal life. But he kept building. He kept on building. Then when God gave him the tools for the people, then he started giving. He think God ain't, I asked him a question. I say, your spirituality has awakened. Have God showed you or made you feel some type of love? He said, no, not really. But I'm going to correct y'all. God made him feel love. Because when he get them kids for Christmas, he ain't felt no type of love in all his life till he get around them kids. Easter, he ain't felt that type of love in all his life till he get around them children. So I found my passion about Darren is, I was scared of the name. Can you imagine that? Didn't even know him. I was afraid of the name in the streets.
But why?
Because of the energy that came with it. Darren will rob you. Darren will do this. Darren, you watch out for Darren. Darren and so-and-so got static. Y'all stay off of Riverview since he going on. We would get the stuff like that. We would get the tunnel underground language about you and everybody else. But it wasn't good. Talking about you. I ain't in no rush to meet you to die. Bye. And
Hear that, Ben?
so he kept building and he kept building and he kept building. But what's my passion? My passion for Darren is, how can you go from a man knocking people out? How can you go from a man that didn't show, wasn't gonna feel love, to picking up a baby you don't know and giving that baby something that baby didn't have? Or getting a little boy out the neighborhood and giving him a pair of shoes so he won't be talked about. I need some shoes so you see the dog got me. That's my passion. That's my passion about him is he never experienced that youthful love that he's given to these type of youth. So that's what I got.
I remember when I fell asleep and I woke up with froze snot on my face. That's when I knew that God, you got to come on with it. You got to come on with it. I had nowhere to go. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I slept in the casket. I never forget I slept in the casket.
This?
Yeah. I was in a sleep and woke up. I'm like, fingers cold. I told myself, guys,
Now you know I'm finna do a video.
you got to shut that
We can talk
wall.
about that.
You got to shut that wall.
We can talk about that.
Because it was storming. You know, the storm was coming.
Bricks
I
was
couldn't make it home. I learned where you to church. I was like, should I go to the church?
Right.
Wall might fall in on.
Right.
Okay, I'm coming to the church. Yeah.
We sat in here and listened to the bricks fall. And I said, Tam, it ain't gonna make it to the winter. I mean, you can hear the bricks constantly fall.
All that.
But when I first, I still ask myself, how and why. But once I sit back, I watch the lives I change. I watch the guys get saved from going to the penitentiary. I watch the mothers that lost their babies. I was called. Yeah. So now, just like Saul, you know what I'm saying? I was wild. And look at Saul. Saul wrote most of the books of the Bible, right? So I think that my book that I'm putting out there, I think it's gonna be this message that I'm doing. I want the little dudes to know it's real. If I can change,
Saul to Paul.
right? If I can change, anybody can change. I hate when people ask me my name. I hate to tell them Darren Seals because the first thing y'all do when y'all see who Darren Seals, let me Google who that is. Oh, yeah, you know him. Then they gonna get that bad image about me. You know, I missed out on a lot of good women because I never get out of the principal. I was dating the principal. I'm talking about I probably would have married her right off top. And soon, you know, when you got that person, you go meet, and all that day you hanging out, we kicking it the whole weekend. We go get a room. It was an attraction. We didn't do nothing in the hotel room. She didn't want to go home. I didn't want to go home.
Chemistry, yeah.
The chemistry was that we woke up, went out to Six Flags, and I met her that she said she was out of school, and I met her, it was in summertime, I met her on a Friday. I went to go play softball over in Illinois that Saturday morning. And then I was on a run, and I got a hotel room, and she came stayed in the hotel room. This was Saturday. Then next thing you know, we went and played that Sunday. She didn't want to go home. I'm out for the whole week. And I'm on run.
You out for the rest, you out there.
But when I finally said who I was, she immediately called somebody. And the first thing they said was, run. She got up and said, I gotta go pick my baby up. And left me at the hotel. So you know me, you funky B. I dogged out. But not knowing that, I should have been dogging myself out because I created an image.
Well, that was a rejection.
So you found what so many people are searching for. You found your purpose. Like some people leave this earth and never know their purpose.
No, I have always said, I understand God.
Like the scary chicken.
If he ready for me, if they say God right now, knock on the door, and I'm looking for Darren. I'm gone. I'm rolling. I'm running. Because back then I didn't believe in God. I didn't believe in God. I felt guilty, miserable because I hurt all my partners. When I mean hurt, meaning they followed me to destruction.
Do you think it's that you didn't believe in God or you just wasn't connected spiritually? I don't think nobody that never tried him could say they didn't believe, because you said how you had your bulletproof vest on in the church. You knew it was some kind of spiritual existence.
Oh yeah, I grew up in church.
So I don't think it's that you didn't believe.
Matter of fact, I grew up in this church here.
Right.
But the fact that I had so many enemies, any day I knew when I walked out my mother's house, I knew that I wasn't going to see it no more.
So it's not that, like Courtney said, it's not that you didn't believe. You didn't feel that you were good enough.
Worthy
God
enough,
would
yeah.
accept you
Yeah.
because of all you had done.
Because that's how the church make you feel, made you feel.
But like, and another thing, when I never forget, my mother, I grew up in church.
Yeah.
So I
We
knew,
just trying
I
to
knew
make
the
sure-
word of God. I knew that it was a God. But then, damn God, why I keep getting shot?
You just got angry.
Yeah, like why you take this person? You know, see, people, I didn't understand, and people didn't understand.
You didn't understand
you
reaping and
playing
sowing.
catch outside, you playing football in the alley, and then your mother called you in to come eat. Then you hear boom.
That saves you.
Then your best friend is dead. I didn't understand it. Nobody explained it to me. So when you come to a preacher like Reverend Crosby, he was an old-fashioned preacher. He didn't understand it. So you got an old-fashioned preacher, so what do you have? Old-fashioned members.
Yeah.
So they didn't understand the game.
The streets.
So when, and I blame God. Like, why my best friends, why all my friends leaving? Why I'm getting shot? Why I'm going through this? You know, why? So I'm riding with AKs, bulletproof vests, and my mission was, fuck it. This the outcome, fuck it. I'm ready. Then it was like, when I'm watching all my friend moms at the front row, how you walk by, it's gonna be okay. Or I done said this to guys. Well, I know if dude called me, if I would have said, if I could have went to different guys and be like, hey man, dude ain't cuffing that cloth, man, leave him alone. But then he killed him. I could have been like, damn, dude, I could have stopped that. But then the person in me was like, nigga, go out there and handle your business.
Yeah.
Get them before they get you.
Right.
Because it was a
Right.
rush. Let me see if you're going to really do it. You know what I'm saying? The
Right.
control. I had control over a few people, so it was that rush. Go do it. You scared, you're a punk. And then they say, he going to get you. I'm souping it up. But then I was like, you know what? Now it's like, damn, I was a dummy. You know what I'm saying? But God put this image so when people really see, like you knew me. You knew in the trenches. You heard that name, but you couldn't put a face with that name. And that was always about me. Some people knew me, but some people didn't. Like I said, I was on backstage, people didn't know it. They always said my whole name. They never say Darren. They always say Darren Seals in them. But once all of them start dying, I was trying to hide. You know what I'm saying?
Because you wide open now.
Yeah, it's open now because it's me. And so, like I said, when Cleo died, it was an eye opener. It was like, you next. And I didn't mind. You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about Cleo a little more. And the reason I'm choosing to talk about it more is you want to talk about it more. But with Cleo, do you think where you are now, Cleo would have been on this same path level with you? And I'm saying that because sometimes we do ask God why everybody is being taken and life's so great. And if Cleo was here, man, I know, sometimes it's just everybody is not meant to be front row on your assigned journey. So I'm asking, do you think your partners who got killed in the game or for whatever reason or, whatever time it was, do you think had they not been killed or the circumstance of death not entered into them, do you think they would have been a problem for you who you are today? Or do you think they would have changed as you changed? And does that make sense for your answer to say why they are not a part of your journey?
Now I see my eyes getting watery.
I'm going to bring this pain out of you.
I don't think they would accept it, but I was a leader. And then it would have been like, this is what I'm doing. Fuck you if you ain't coming on board. No different from when, I never forget, he was flat broke and I was on my feet and he came to me and said, bro, I'm put out my house, I ain't got nothing. And I gave him what I had saved because I knew he could move more than me quicker. And I put him back in the game. But it was like I said, one day you might be broke. See, the next day you might have 30, 40,000 back then. Or they'll call me, let's go. We go up to Chicago, go shop. You know what I'm saying? They spending 65, 70,000. It was on, but everybody had their own leader inside of them.
Yeah.
So I never hung around all my guys. It's probably out of 50 guys, it was probably, I know you really ain't cut from that cloth, but you can hang around because you grew up with me. Cleo probably wouldn't have changed because he was too deep in it. I think he would have rather die than to go to jail for 40 years. That's just what I know of my partner. You know, in the average dude probably said, you can send me, I'm gonna do that 40 years and I come home. Cleo, he probably would have wanted to die instead of going to do 40, 50 years.
Right.
But if you caught and you in that spot, he would have went to go do it. But it's like when they got the house surrounded. If me and Cleo we did some dirt in the house, we got the house surrounded. It's gonna be 2 dead niggas coming out that motherfucker shooting.
Right.
So we knew the pain that we caused. So we, I mean, like me, I can speak for him. If I said I'm going out with a bang, he would have said, "Fuck it, let's roll." You know what I'm saying? Because don't nobody want to go sit in jail for no 100 years.
Right.
You know,
but we knew then in the game, it was if you ain't willing to die for it, get out the way anyway.
Right.
It was that type of energy. So if you could just say that one last thing now that you in a right state of mind, and you could say that one positive thing to lead Cleo if he was here, what would it be? Or to the rest of your partners? Because they didn't get to see this. They had to, you are an influencer, which means do or dare. All right, so you just gonna let him talk to you like that? Oh, they want to prove something to you. They want to prove that they're gonna be what you say that they are. So you was an influencer. And I'm just wondering who you are now, if none of your partners was dead. But let's just talk about Cleo, the new you, the rebirth. What would you say to him, like really, what would you say to him about your success versus where y'all were back then? Cause I'm sure it'll be unbelievable. You having kids, like everything about your new life, your partners never seen it coming. But if this was Cleo in that chair, you'd have
I'm gonna show you how cold it was with Cleo. When I got shot up, I used to have French braids. So half of this was gone because they messed with my head and everything. All this was gone. Stuff was messed up. So when I sat in the barber chair, I said, I'm finna go bald. I'm gonna go with you.
Right.
We both walked out that barber shop like our heads was like 2 dicks in a bucket. It looked like we had 2 rocks in a cocaine bottle. We was lopsided heads, and his head looked like somebody with Edward Seals' hand, like he had his head busted 1,000 times, and I would tell them, I found a way out. I found a way in it, and I found a way out. The average person, they say, once you in it, either you go to jail, either you die. I found a way out. I created a job. I created a name. I created, like, people actually see me and say, that's Sankofa. You know, just through my mask and my eyes, so people know who I am now, versus, girl, another Darren Seals now. You know, I remember I was about to get some coochie in the hotel, and the girl said, girl, I'm up here with Darren Seals. Girl, I'm finna come get you, bam on the door.
Right.
You know, I'm like, don't answer the door, that's my sister. I gotta go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because people was like, people trying to kill me.
You didn't have a fear of death, and that had people in fear. You didn't fear death, which means a person walking through Walnut Park or wherever you was at and didn't fear death. That means
because
you can
so
call,
many people was dying, so.
But your stamina, whatever the word, stamina, whatever your character, your character was so strong. Just think if I'm saying I heard of you, and it was fearful. And I think that's what it was. You didn't fear death. So if you with anybody that don't fear death, how you gonna protect what could come? I don't know if I'm saying that right. But if he didn't, not only he didn't fear death, But the attitude he had as well, the character that he portrayed as well, and the lifestyle that he was living. But he didn't want scared to die. Me or you can go to the hotel with him, not knowing who he is. But when we wake up, I think that would be the most scariest moment, not being a dope dealer, not running the streets. It's his character, not being afraid. I don't know, I may not be saying it right.
We kind of come from the same
We
place.
do.
We ran the same circles, but that was practically everybody I knew. Like, it was the bad boy, the rough exterior. They wasn't afraid to die.
But
No, I'm saying
to
what him saying about females that didn't know that and then found that out and ran for their life. I'm saying, can you understand what made them fearful of him? Yeah.
I mean,
It's not.
female.
We probably could sit outside on the porch with him, kick it, you know, us. But I'm just saying certain females
certain
on a
females.
certain standard, especially I'm talking about a principal. I ran for my life though, all this college. So it ain't, I don't know. I'm just wondering why people feared.
Bad boy.
I'm just wondering why the women feared him. It wouldn't scare us.
Right.
But outside, women outside where you was from, I can understand when somebody told somebody that it was actually you and they ran for their life. I can understand that. I'm ready to run.
She put me out there, and she been.
I'm just saying, you talked
Get your ass off the mic.
You talked about.
I mean, even being from, I'm just thinking like coming over here with y'all. Bumping, I probably would have been like, nah, cause he crazy.
Right.
So I guess
I'm just gonna keep
no
girl.
Yeah.
If
But
we
you
gonna
know,
keep
though-
it real, we ain't gonna keep it. He was crazy. Everybody knew it. And if you didn't know his face, you knew his story. So if he pulled up, I would probably been the one going in the house because a shootout could happen or somebody looking for him. Or I'm just saying. But you had good success.
It wasn't that bad. I don't,
That's how you make it seem like if they hear your name and run for it, like you took the camera, you ready for it?
nah. Who on next? Stacey?
So I met Darren when I was 21, and we did date, and I ran because how do you take it when somebody's mother tells you you need to leave him alone? He's selling drugs out of your car, and when they come and they catch him in your car, they're gonna take your car. And then you're not gonna have anything. So me meeting him back then, it didn't last long, but I was scared. Even though I stayed in the hood, hell, I stayed over on Bessie, over around Lee and Marcus and Carter and all of them. 44 Bud right up the hill. So I'm a scary girl. I'm an only child. I was a sheltered child, 2-parent home, everything. I didn't know nothing about Darren. I don't even remember where I met him at. All I remember is his mother telling me that. His mother is telling me what? Yeah, his mother is just telling me, you know, this is not the person you want to deal with. She was like, you seem like you a nice girl. Hell yeah. She said, when something happened, your car gonna be gone, not his, yours, and he's still gonna be doing what he doing. So I heard him got out of there. But over the years, I always heard about him. Always heard about the bad boy Darren. I mean, I love bad boys. That was my thing. So I dated other people that were doing what he was doing, and that's why I would hear so much about him. Then with softball, to me, Darren is a bully. Everybody keeps saying he the devil and all this. Darren is a bully. Then when you say that he could talk people into doing instigating stuff, Darren just a bully. He just knew how to do it real, real well. He ain't gonna be the one that somebody else gonna be the one that. But yeah, I met him. And I've seen him over the years playing softball. He had this loud mouth, going off on people. I remember times when he was gonna beat this dude up because he was going to take advantage of somebody. I mean, it was a lot of stuff that I had seen that I didn't, want to be around. But I saw it. I wasn't scared of him, to be honest with you. I guess because I never, after we went through what we went through and his mom said what she said, I was ghosting, I didn't have to be around it. But to the person that he is now, I think one day I responded to one of his posts or whatever, and he reached out to me. He was like, hey, I want you, that I'm doing this, and this, and can you come and help me or do whatever? I was like, cool, what is it that you need for me to do? I hadn't seen any of his videos. I hadn't seen none of his Facebook posts. This was almost 2 years ago, because they started doing the Stop the Bleeding, and he just brought me up here. He was like, hey, let me give you a tour of the church. This is what's going on. This is what I'm trying to do. Y'all don't know how many times the plans for this church has turned over and over. How many times he said, I'm going to do this and this and this. But I can tell that he's a very changed person, because he's still the same person, but he's not the same person. He's on the opposite side of the spectrum now. Instead of doing the dirty, trying to help someone that's trying to do the dirt, not to be the same way that he was when he was younger. I see the mentality change as far as, just like, I think I had to take him somewhere one day. And we seen something, I can't even remember the story, so I shouldn't even bring it up. But it was something, he was like, I don't even drive fast. He said, we gonna get there all at the same time, because people just like, shoo, 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 just flying around us. And I mean, it's just a totally different, he the same Darren, but he ain't the same Darren. You can still see his leadership ways, even from back then. But what he's leading now is something totally different.
I was a leader.
No, you was still a bully. You were a bully.
I got that from, like, I don't know you from, so my perception of meeting you is totally different from
So you
theirs.
snitching?
If you're a bully, you're a bully.
I mean, just the stories, if I had to describe you from the stories, I would say you was a bully. But like I said, I met you in a whole different circumstance, and yeah, you saw that.
He a bully. And he can't stay on something too long. His mind he can't focus. He jumped from this to this to this to this, but nowadays it's more positive.
Yeah, but it's still all over.
It's still all over the place. He has a direction, but how he gonna get to where he trying to go is, because there's so many other, now that he's doing the things that he's doing, there's so many people that's coming in now that wasn't there before. So once his track of mind go one place, it's somebody else throwing something else in the game. Just like when
But I ain't never got off focus of what I was doing.
not all focus for what you're doing. But that just goes to say, every time somebody else starts something, just like the little guy on that came to you about the dancing. You had nothing about dancing in your mind, but as soon as that man came here and said,
a million times.
right, but that's what I'm saying. That's why his focus gets thwarted
But
and
see-
it goes to different places, but his focus is on the same thing. His end game is always the same.
It's based on, let's say if like dude came. He ain't contacting me now. He always on my post. Mm-hmm. He came to an event before. But when I let people win, that's because I see something that can help my puzzle.
Exactly.
So it's not that I get off track.
But that's what I'm saying. You don't get off track, but people throw things to you where,
And then I felt his energy. His energy was on point.
right. But what I'm saying
Look at
is,
this heifer here.
I'm telling you.
Grandmama.
but look, when that man came here, it was so easy for Darren to say, okay, so next Friday, this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Did he even think about what the heck he had to do next Friday? No, he just wanted to happen because he wants to build on what he has that's going on already. I'm just saying that the more people come to you, the bigger your vision gets.
That's a good thing,
It's
right?
still yes, exactly. It's still the end goal is still the same. It's just that now you have so much more coming in that you have to put into that plan to get to where you want to be in the end. You're just trying to put it all together with everybody coming to you. And I told you, more people are going to come to you. You probably are going to have to revise your blueprint. It can never stay the same with as many people coming to you. You're going to have to grow and evolve with everything that's going on around you. But we know what your end goal is. We know that your end goal is to get these young kids off the street into better things than what they are happily falling into right now.
Okay, so now, back to the question. What you know about me from back in the day to now? Tell me the difference, that you think the difference.
And I did.
No, I'm saying right now, just make it a little clear.
You're still the loud, boisterous Darren Seals, half Sankofa. Well, no, the Sankofa is the other part of you now. But you still got Darren Seals and you still got half in you. It's just that
So you don't know what happened.
you're moving to Sankofa. Darren Seals, half, has made you Sankofa.
I know during Sankofa Seals, I don't know the thug, the terrorizer.
You got the softer side.
Like, I don't know him. Like, I mean, I didn't know about
I mean, you know what? I like what I see. I like what I see. He's turned into an awesome guy, like I said. The Darren then, the half then, the Sankofa now.
It's a process.
He would never have been Sankofa without being Darren Seals in half. I'm very impressed with everything that he's doing now, and I'd ride by his side, you know, to see that he gets to whatever I can do to see that he gets to where he want to be or need to be or where it's leading him. And since it's all positive and all for the good, and with these kids, we have a different generation of kids nowadays. I don't know how the hell or where they came from, but they're nothing like we were when we were younger, even though we did have the little bad apples. But, you know, these kids nowadays, they have no respect for anybody, anything, not even themselves, which makes them reckless to everybody else around them.
So have you actually had the opportunity to actually see him like in rare form? Like,
Yes.
So how did you feel about that?
I was scared for that.
No, I mean the new person.
Oh, the new
Yeah.
person? Oh, yeah, because I've witnessed them when they had to actually try to talk to a young man. We sat in on one of those. You remember that? The little guy had the braces in his mouth, had the diamond earrings on, and he wanted to hang out with the little bad crowd. We was up in the sanctuary, and we had the casket out and everything.
I know you're talking.
And they was like, you a good looking dude. How you gonna be a thug? You know, I mean, and they really went hard because it wasn't just Darren talking. Darren barely did a whole bunch of talking this time. He actually let the other guys talk to this young man. And I sat there, you know, on the edge of my seat, kind of gripping the seat like, dang, is this, you know. So I have seen them on the raw side of trying to get through to somebody. I did see that before.
I met him, my first impression was like, first off, who the hell is he and why he here? My nephew was killed. Mm-hmm. And the day after, my sister had called me that morning, and I guess the news had came or something before I could get there. So when I get there, it's Darren, a few other people with organizations, and I walk up, I'm frustrated. You know, he kind of just standing around in the background a little bit. So, you know, I'm like, who is this, And then he over, I'm like, who the hell is he? So she really didn't know. Mm-hmm. Like, he came, she don't know who he is. So at this time, my sister didn't have insurance. So I remember him calling her upstairs. No, I remember him going downstairs first and clearing off the porch. Like, y'all gotta go, y'all, you know. So I'm really looking like, oh yeah, who is he? So he conversed with her and some stuff he did for her, it really kind of caught my attention. Like, you don't know him and he just came and gave you money and told you to do this and do that. So the next day he came back again, like, okay. And we had a candlelight. And at the candlelight, different people were talking. Darren never got on the camera. But when the bucket for the money came out, nobody was moving. He reached in his pocket and put all the money in his pocket and he put it in the bucket. And after that, everybody started to, so in my mind, I'm like, this guy's somebody. So we started talking and he invited us to the school. My nephew was supposed to speak at my nephew's school that Monday, but he got killed that Sunday. So we ended up that following week going to the school or whatever, and just to see him interact with the kids. I've been doing the community thing for a while, but I had been doing it by myself, so to just find somebody that was on the same page, it was cool. We bumped heads a lot. Oh, we bumped heads a lot.
But you know what? I've seen them interact with the kids as well, and it's not the same interaction as like teachers have with the children, or a lot. Exactly. It's like talking to one of your homeboys almost, and you know, you say something stupid, or he gon' get you right. That's the kind of, you know, interaction that I've seen him, and it's weird that these kids flock to him, because you would think that the nicer you are to somebody, then they like people like him, and with him being the way that he is now and moving towards the things that he's trying to do, that's perfectly fine. No matter how you get him, just get him, bring him in, do what you need to him. A lot of things get better. I mean, you can only try, and if you help one, you've helped enough.